Hello everyone! Thank you for joining me for today's video. For my returning subscribers, welcome back Fash Fam. Good to see you again. For anyone new here, welcome. This channel is all about creating style without boundaries, so if that resonates with you, I think you're going to like it here. Go ahead and subscribe so that you can be notified for more content like this. Now apologies in advance guys, I know my voice sounds weird, slightly tired, slightly, nasal. I was in New York City yesterday and I was doing a lovely bus tour with a bunch of people who decided to cough, hack, and sneeze without covering their mouths once. So I think I am coming down with a little something, but that is how life goes. You still have to show up and show out. So we're finally sitting down to do our annual best purchases. Now, I'll admit that I felt that I did a lot of shopping. And I know that to be true. However, when I was looking at my closets, I really didn't see a lot of purchases that I had made in 2024. And then I realized that a big majority of my shopping was done for spring and summer since my wardrobe was severely lacking for warm weather. And so those pieces have already been put away for the season, so I wasn't necessarily seeing what I purchased this year, but I put together a list. I wanted to keep the list to 10, although I think we ended up at 12 of my best purchases. Now, not every piece gets worn super frequently, but that isn't how I measure what is best. I measure what is best based upon what gap it filled, the emotions that it evokes in me when I reach for it, and also how often I wear it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our first piece. Our first piece is a pair of jeans, and when I tell you that it is by far the most inexpensive item on this list, that just goes to show you that you don't have to spend top dollar to get a lot of joy and a lot of value out of your pieces. I was walking in a fashion show and I was to model a graphic t-shirt and a bomber jacket. I was asked to bring my own pants and my own shoes. However, when I was looking at my closet, I really didn't have a good pair of jeans that would elevate and enhance the shirt and the jacket. And that is really surprising considering how many pairs of jeans I have. I have more pairs of jeans than a human being needs in a lifetime. I just didn't have the right fit or the right wash. So having recently rediscovered Gap, I decided to pop into my local store and see what offerings they had. These are a high-rise barrel leg style in a washed black color. I got them in a size 27, which Gap equates to being a size 4. And these jeans were the perfect pair for the jacket and the shirt. The whole look looked really good. And these ended up becoming my favorite pair of jeans very quickly. I love that slightly curved shape, and I also love the structure that typically comes with a barrel leg denim. I also didn't really have a decent pair of black jeans, and when I say that, I'm not saying that I don't have black at all. So this pair of jeans ended up filling a gap that I didn't even realize that I had in my wardrobe. I definitely reach for these at least once per week, and they just feel good and they look great. While I would definitely classify this as a spring-summer purchase, the way that I reach for these pants constantly over the spring and summer season really goes to show how great they are. Now, I mentioned earlier that most of my shopping was geared towards my spring-summer wardrobe, and that's because it was severely, severely lacking. I did not have a defined style identity, and I was lacking pieces that felt truly like me to get me through the season. I'm a person who really enjoys layering, and that is very difficult to do in summers where I live. It is hot, and it is extremely humid, and so you need to really kind of have, if you're doing a layer, very light layers, and so I was just lacking. So I decided to put together a mood board to decide the direction I wanted to take my style, and as a person who really enjoys the mermaid core aesthetic, that's the direction I decided to go in. And while perusing Cause, I happened across these gorgeous pants from their Atelier line. When I tell you that these remind me of a mermaid's tail, and the way they swish and sway in motion, it definitely is giving a sense of fluidity. So these are a double-layered chiffon, black piping, a wave design, and pleats all in one. And while that sounds like a lot, this is a gorgeous pair of pants. And they are so comfortable and so beautiful. I grabbed for these every single week over the summer, and whenever I wore them, I got so many compliments. I was able to wear these casually, I was able to wear them to slightly more formal events. They really felt extremely versatile. They were more expensive than I really wanted to pay, but I did recognize that an option like this at the designer price point would be 4 or 5 times more what I paid. But these pants truly don't owe me anything. They really have served me well, and I look forward to reaching for them next spring and summer. At the same time I was checking out the Sassoon Chueka pants in Nordstrom, I happened across this Stine Goya Impressionist coat. I believe they call this style Aneta, and it was love at first sight. This was on the sale rack, and my mom was like, dude, you gotta try that on. It is a size small, and I was thinking, I probably won't be able to fit that, but I put it on, and it fit like a glove. When I tell you that this coat is everything I could dream of, it is everything I could dream of. I love the abstract print. I love the bubblegum pink color with the mix of off-white. I love the lurex threads woven throughout to give it just a beautiful shine and iridescence. And I also love that it contours in towards the smallest part of the waist, which gives it a beautiful shape, as well as the fact that it has this beautiful pearl button. You've seen this jacket in short form video, you've seen this jacket in long form video. I debuted the jacket when I did a haul, getting in some jackets for the fall, and then I also recently featured this in my holiday looks video, where I styled it up with a pair of pink satin cargo pants. I love this jacket so much that I have to stop myself from wearing it. There is something to be said about me and the color pink. Whenever I see it, I want it, and I have to stop telling myself not to buy it because I get so much use and joy out of my pink pieces. And this pink coat is no different. Next is a more recent pickup, and this is my Ponte waisted blazer from Helmut Lang. I was in Boyd's, Philadelphia, which I had no business being in Boyd's. But I wanted to pop in and check out the merchandise, and I really am so glad that I did because I had a wonderful shopping experience and I got to meet somebody who was very passionate about the products and really gave me wonderful insight into each piece and why they brought that into the store. And while I wasn't in the market for a new black blazer, I found myself in the market for a new black blazer. As I mentioned in my previous video, I am a huge fan of Peter Do's work, and Helmut Lang is a brand that I have invested in the past. My favorite pair of tuxedo trousers are Helmut Lang, and so having a brand that I already knew and loved, and a designer whose vision I respect come together, it felt very natural. Plus, the price point wasn't so terrible, in my mind at least. For one, I love the details of the fit. It's got decent shoulders, it's got a nice sleeve with zippers in the back that you can unzip to give more of a bell sleeve shape. The jacket has beautiful seams in the back that create a really beautiful waisted shape, and it's just got a lovely heavy weight to it. I have to say, I really, really love it. It is such a flattering shape on my body, and I am happy to have been able to purchase a piece of Helmut Lang under Peter Do's creative vision, especially considering the fact that he has already exited the brand. I actually think that people would be surprised that this jacket has made it to my best purchases of 2024 list, but hear me out first. When I was in my early teens, I really loved the idea of purchasing a pair of cowhide fur pants, and I just could not afford them at the time, and that style fell out of favor. Western made its way back in a major way, and all of a sudden you're seeing, oh, gotta get the viral cow print jacket on TikTok. And I was like, oh, wow. How crazy is that I've lived long enough to see something come back again? I did a little digging, and I found this version on Mango, and I didn't pull the trigger right away, and I'm glad I waited because I ended up getting this 30% off during one of their sales. Here are the reasons why I love this jacket. For one, it is genuine leather. That is very important to me because this is a piece that I could see withstanding the test of time, especially considering that it doesn't have any extra bells or whistles. It's not super oversized, it's not got drop shoulders, it's not super long, it's just a very traditional cut, and that is what I like. If you check out the sleeves and then compare them to the body, you'll notice that the brown spots on the sleeves are significantly lighter than the body of the jacket. And I really like that intentional mismatching. It adds a lot of visual interest without being too overwhelming, as the brown spots are already interesting enough. While I know you can't tell with the way that I'm dressed today, I am a person who does enjoy leaning into the more bohemian side of style, and this jacket, while not being, floaty chiffon layers and penny lane coats, I still feel gives a nice nod to boho in the way that I like to do it, which is some of those chiffon floaty layers really balanced out with heavy Western themes. Literally can't see me behind all the yards of yarn. The irony is that I'm sure the me of yesteryear would have judged this as something ugly and looking very arts and crafts, and it is amazing how our tastes change as we age. This is something that I have been on the hunt for well over a year, and when I tell you that there were none to be had, there were none to be had. None! This is the Rhona cardigan from the ATTICO in the multicolor, and this cardigan is unlike any other that I have seen. For one, it's got this massive scarf detail with these fringed yarns in blue and gray and yellow and camel. I mean, I have it draped over the shoulder. It hangs so long. It is so stunning. It's got long sleeves with the same fringe detailing at the cuffs, but it also has this massive safety pin that you can adjust to fasten at any angle you like. This gives you so many styling options. You can wear it open, you can wear it with the scarf detail draped over your shoulder, you can wear it off the shoulder, you can wear it cinched at the waist. I knew that this was something I wanted to add to my closet, even if it just lived in the archive. While I am embarrassed to admit how much I paid for this, which I am not going to do on camera, I cannot say that I regret it. I styled this up for my socials and I was glowing, and it did get a pretty decent reaction, so I love that I finally get to own this. I'm trying to be more intentional and create my wish lists and then check things off, and this was pretty high on a wish list. I just didn't put it in a video because I didn't want to jinx myself and have someone get to it before I did. I would lift this up and show this to you, but considering that this is almost as tall as I am, you're really not going to be able to get a good sense of what this looks like if I hold it up, because more than half of it is just going to be sitting on my carpet, and that is not helpful for anyone. But just to give some detail, I'll put a picture up on the screen just so you can get a better, view of it. But this is the Hanifa Maxi cardigan dress in the purple colorway, which, I mean, can we talk about this color on me? Like, I absolutely love it. It is so royal. It's so regal. It is giving what needs to be gave. There really isn't a lot to say about this cardigan. It is Hanifa, which is a beautiful Black-owned brand that is headquartered in the DC area. And Hanifa really gives fashion forward and luxury And we love that. This cardigan, I believe, is one of the things that put the brand on the map because it was and still is so highly coveted. It's a beautiful piece. I mean, it's a chunky knit with a dramatic bell sleeve and a whip stitch detail on the cuff. It's got a beautiful fringe detail at the hem. And when I tell you that she hangs long, she hangs long. And she comes in these beautiful candy colors, as well as some neutrals. And there really is just something for everyone. In fact, Sarah Jessica Parker was posing in this for And Just Like That. We haven't seen the season yet, but the stills are out there. And it looks just great on really everyone. And that is so interesting about this piece. I wore it out the other day with my Gap Barrel-Leg jeans, a pair of black boots, and a black fitted turtleneck, and people were like, oh my god, where'd you get that sweater? What is that sweater? Dude, that's sick. And I was like, it's Hanifa. It's good, right? It's good, right? It's good. So, love this piece. Love this piece, love this piece, love this piece. I would actually buy it again in another color. It is pretty oversized. I got the extra small, and this fits me pretty well. I can't imagine what this would look like on me and how long this would hang if I had gotten like a medium. I have worn this Robert Lee Morris cuff pretty much every chance I get when I need a nice statement piece on the wrist. This I got for Christmas last year, so it's technically not a 2024 purchase, and I believe I'd already filmed my best purchases of 2023 video before that, so I wasn't going to retroactively add this to the list. Plus, you don't really get a chance to use your Christmas stuff that much before the end of the year, so 2024 was really the year for me to really learn how much I love this. It's also just quite sentimental in that she knew I wanted a Tiffany bone cuff. It's been on my wish list for years now. And she was like, it's not a bone cuff, but it's a nice placeholder. And it really is a nice placeholder. And so it's such a thoughtful gift. It's so sentimental to me. So I absolutely love it. Next up, we have a handbag. Who would ever think I would feature a handbag in one of my best purchases videos? But this bag has really served me well. Polene is a contemporary handbag brand based out of France, and I actually stumbled into one of the stores in Soho. Right, not planned, not intentional, just walking, through Soho and saw these beautiful handbags in the window, and so popped in and just was in love. First off, like the price point, I love nice things, but luxury handbags, I'm telling you, are just never going to be my thing. I don't really want to spend $3,000 on a bag. At least not yet. It doesn't feel like something I want to do. And so I was in desperate need of a new everyday bag. I was carrying something that was clear and iridescent, but it was also falling apart. And though I loved it, I was like, you gotta upgrade. And so I opted for this Polene style. You guys have to forgive me. I can't remember the name. I'll have to put it on the screen. But for me, I tend to gravitate towards handbags that are very structured. I don't like them when they're super loosey-goosey, like a hobo bag or a tote. That just doesn't really appeal to me. I also like the fact that it's top handle because I will want to carry the bag top handle if I want to feel a little bit more bougie. But also like the fact that it has a longer strap so that you can wear it crossbody. The way I have it now, it really only functions as a shoulder strap. It doesn't sit comfortably in a crossbody position, but as you can see, I can adjust it to make it longer if I wanted to do that. I got this color because I wanted something that wasn't black, but was also neutral, especially considering that I love to wear shades of white, cream, and ivory. But this just feels like the perfect everyday bag, and it is really the perfect balance between formality and casual. It did not feel right to do a best purchases video without featuring a pair of shoes. And so here they are, the shoes of the moment. These are my Demeulemeester Alec riding boots. Now, if you were to ask me, I would say Demeulemeester is one of my favorite brands. While I have not yet invested in a ton of Demeulemeester pieces, I knew that this would be the first piece for me to invest in because this would be significant. I love the look of a good combat boot. While I already have one from Louis Vuitton that is a very traditional style, being that it sits slightly above the ankle, I wanted something that had a little bit more drama. And while I was looking for affordable options from brands like Doc Martens that hit right below the knee, my feet are just too big to get away with the affordable options. I didn't want something that was super, super chunky and goth. That's really not the look I was going for. But I didn't want something that was plastic either. So I discovered that Demeulemeester does a style like this pretty much every year. And I never thought I would spend more money on shoes than my Rick Owens Kiss boots, but I did this time. And you know what though? That's okay. The craftsmanship on these boots is exquisite. I mean, this leather is so supple. It is so incredible. I can't remember how high this shaft is, but when I tell you that this tongue hits pretty much right below my kneecap, these boots are tall. We've got a buckle detail and then a zipper on the inside so that you don't have to undo the laces each and every time you want to get your foot in them. You just undo the buckle, you unzip, and then you can just wrap the laces around, tie them in a knot, and you're good to go. It will serve as a really beautiful anchor to some of my more delicate and floaty pieces, which I feel is the juxtaposition that Demeulemeester always strikes. I am happy to say that yes, they were more money than I wanted to spend, but I also recognize that these will be something that I'll have in my wardrobe for decades to come, as long as I care for them well. So that rounds out my 2024 best purchases list.